Ukraine's long-range drone campaign continued overnight with a strike on the Novokuybishevsk oil refinery in Russia's Samara region, a vital energy hub capable of processing nearly 9 million tons of crude annually. Residents reported hearing around 10 explosions as the drones reached the facility, with early indications suggesting that a nearby power substation may also have been affected. The strike briefly disrupted aviation activity across a wider region, forcing airports in Nizhny Novgorod, Ufa, and Orenburg to suspend operations before resuming later. The Novokuybishevsk refinery is one of the key industrial enterprises in Samara, producing fuel and petrochemical products used across civilian and military transport networks. Any disruption to its output carries both economic and logistical consequences for Russia, especially at a time when its domestic air defenses are under continuous strain. This incident follows a growing pattern of attacks on Russian oil infrastructure. On November 11th, explosions rocked the Saratov oil refinery, triggering a fire that caused significant damage and forced emergency crews to contain the blaze through the night. Just days later, on November 14th, drones targeted an oil depot at the Sheskariz complex in Novorossiysk, damaging coastal loading facilities and fuel handling equipment. These repeated strikes underscore a widening operational reach by Ukraine and a persistent vulnerability within Russia's energy sector. The frequency of attacks has unsettled several regions, where industrial sites are under continuous risk and environmental concerns are mounting due to fires, fuel leaks, and emergency shutoffs. As winter approaches and the tempo of Ukrainian drone operations increases, Russia's critical energy infrastructure faces accumulating pressure with potentially long-term economic implications. For the first time, a kamikaze ground robot from the 20th Separate Brigade of Unmanned Systems K2 has taken out Russian troops. One Russian soldier was killed, another wounded, and a third was finished off by an FPV drone.
These three guys of enemy nationality now under the bridge. I am catching you now. Greetings to all. My call sign is Mixer. I am from the NRK Kamikaze Shock Machine Company. Now you will watch a video of our first successful work. Spoiler, Jaush, it will be successful. Like and subscribe.
In the first frames of the video, we see a successful ride of the car, everything is great, the 120 is down, everything is cool, the car is moving just as planned. We are moving, the speed is great, the signal is excellent, and then I notice some strange figures on the left. According to reconnaissance, there was no one, everything is fine. Some people. I think to myself, I need to slowly roll back, wait it out. Who are they? We start to find out who is wandering there. They report that, well, the first thought is, that's it, well, I've been spotted, they're up to something. I think, well, I'll roll back, stand a bit in the shade. Don't have much choice. The bridge, some shade, and that's it. Nowhere else, and asphalt. I could lose the car. I think, well, okay, don't worry. Slowly into the shade. As it turned out, they didn't see the vehicle, they heard the Mavic and started approaching. Well, I thought, well, damn, hopefully they didn't see the vehicle. Now the shooting at the car with an automatic weapon will start. Well, that's it, the car is done for. Mission over, we need to do all this. I think, alright, let's get ready, we need to follow them. Slowly, carefully, in the shade, we need to go. These three guys... The enemy nationality doesn't see me at all. I think, well, that's good. I think now I'll quietly follow you guys. And then one of them starts turning around. I think, well, that's it. They've spotted me.
Shooting is about to start. Turns out, no. He lost something there, dropped something.
I think... Now I'll drive up. Slowly, at a slow pace, I start following them like this. I think now I'll catch them, now under the bridge, I'll catch you now, blow you up, and everything will be great for me. Just a little more and a steep slope carries me away and I don't get too lost. I explode and the result showed its yes, that's the whole action. One is at 200 lying down. One is standing over him. At first we didn't understand who and, well, did we hit them, not hit them, did we catch them, not catch them? It's clear, one is lying by the water, one is standing over him. And as it turned out later, one was at 300, one was at 200, and one was just in shock there.
And with the help of our partners, the guys, we successfully dealt with this group. So it was a matter of chance. With these guys coming, someone was watching over us and wanted everything to happen in sequence. If it weren't for this, we might not have caught them. We might have passed this distance earlier and it wouldn't have been hit, but thanks to everyone who participated in this chain, and everything turned out great.
And Russian industry is in its finest hours. For the presentation of the new Russian Lada Niva Sport, a model with corrosion and oil leaks was exhibited. The off-road vehicle, which costs 1.7 million rubles, $21,120, looks as if it has been in use for a long time. Oil was leaking from the differential, forming a puddle under the car. The doors close crookedly, and the bolts and drive shafts are rusty. And more good news from another failed state. North Korea has more than halved the supply of artillery ammunition to Russia in 2025. This was reported by the Deputy Chief of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, Vadim Skibitsky, in an interview with Reuters. The reason for this was the depletion of Pyongyang's ammunition stocks. According to the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, in 2023 to 2024, the North Koreans transferred about 6.5 million artillery shells to Russia, which allowed the Kremlin to maintain a high intensity of fire at the front. However, this year, the volume of supplies has significantly decreased. Skibitsky noted that in September 2025, no batch of shells from North Korea was recorded, and in October, there were only limited deliveries. At the same time, about half of the ammunition was so outdated that it needed to be modernized at Russian factories. Russian soldiers have increasingly voiced frustration over the poor quality of North Korean ammunition supplied to the front, describing it as unreliable, inconsistent, and in some cases outright dangerous to use. Reports from units deployed along several sectors indicate that the shells arrive with visible corrosion, unstable propellant charges, and manufacturing defects that make them far less dependable than standard Russian stock. Soldiers have complained that many of the shells detonate irregularly, with some failing to fire at all while others explode prematurely, posing a direct threat to the crews operating the guns. Frontline artillerymen note that the ammunition often lacks proper sealing, allowing moisture to penetrate and degrade the explosives. In several cases, crews were forced to halt firing after repeated misfires, fearing catastrophic barrel damage or accidental detonations. Troops also stressed that the unpredictable range and accuracy of the shells have reduced their effectiveness in counter-battery engagements, where precise fire can determine survival. Instead of reinforcing Russian firepower, the North Korean rounds have added an element of uncertainty and risk, forcing units to choose between using flawed ammunition or conserving their remaining higher-quality stocks. These complaints reflect a broader problem as Russia turns to foreign suppliers to sustain its war effort. While the influx of North Korean munitions helps offset shortages, the declining reliability of these shipments highlights the growing pressure on Russia's logistics and the mounting difficulties of maintaining consistent firepower on the battlefield.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
gets 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.